Hey, here we is.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
We have to change the photo at the beginning because that's very old photo.
Yeah, but you look good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look good now. Yeah, still.
Yeah, that's true. You know.
Hey,
Yeah,
we
but
don't.
it's
we
15
don't.
years old.
Well,
Okay.
you know. Well, I thought I read it to be 15 months or 15 minutes, so it's only time,
That's
isn't
true.
it? You're always talking about time not being relevant.
That's true.
But if
Yeah,
you want me to spend a half a day of my life doing all the show credits again, just because you want to have a new photograph of yourself, of course I'll do that for you, Adam.
That's right.
I'll send
That
you a
is
new
right.
photo.
Yeah, he's going to send you a new photo. That's very cute. I like
Yes.
that.
Woohoo. Would you like
Oh
me
well,
to
you
cut
will
you in
wait a
half
little
again?
because until I decide which photo it will be,
Yeah.
Oh,
we're
this
gonna
could
have
take-
to use this one for the next two years.
Yeah, I was just going to say this may take a while.
So what,
This may
that-
take
what,
a while.
what difference does it make? 15 years, 17 years? It's not.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's just you're immortalized. You know, the credits of the show have immortalized you. But you know,
No,
I should take a great deal of pleasure in cutting you in half again, and then
I can
make
send
it-
you a half picture if you want. I can send you all the files you need.
From the waist down, he's going to send you.
yeah. Send me
I
the
can
two
send you
halves.
the whole ready video.
Yeah.
It's video, isn't it? Or it's just a
Yeah.
picture?
It's just it's
This picture.
no, it's superimposed over a video. But yeah, I mean, if you want to do the whole thing, great, and I'll just add the music and
Of course, I will do the whole thing.
and the overlay.
Yes, of course. That's my job.
That's his. He's
Yeah.
the artist. He's the creator.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
So,
you know.
how have you been? What's going on? Last time we talked about the riots in Greece and voted for the riot police.
Yeah, now we're talking about unemployment, my unemployment, which is even worse. So riots and unemployment. I have now. Now you're going to do all the show graphics. I've got nothing to do.
Oh, that was all your job?
That's it. That's all he does.
I don't believe
Good.
it. You're hiding
Good.
behind
yeah,
I don't know, pieces of the program.
Pieces of the program. Yeah.
Oh, you see,
so
he's
we're
got
clear.
a ball in his chest.
This is your artwork. I'm wearing your artwork. I'm wearing your artwork.
That's the essence of thinking there, the red thing.
Can I tell you, I wear this and people compliment me all the time. They want to touch it.
For your haircut.
No, they love it. I wear it all the time.
Haircut today.
When I go out, when it's chilly, I wear it and people just want to touch it.
Yeah,
like,
it's bizarre, isn't it?
And I've now started to wrap this around my waist.
Because you're good looking, not that because.
Well, that's true. I mean, I say to them,
you have to accept it at some point. Don't be so humble.
I will. I'm a humble guy.
Stephen is actually humble and modest.
Yeah,
yes.
Not necessarily in that order.
No,
that is very true.
They change priorities.
They change priority depending on who I'm talking to.
Stephen and say, "Can I touch it?" He goes to touch what?
That's why I get very excited when you say that.
The chest.
Well,
yes.
Well, let me give you some work now. Then why don't you produce a piece of work which we can put on another sweatshirt, which just says "You can touch it."
Without asking,
awesome.
Yeah, you can.
Without asking, you can touch it without asking. I like that. That's a cute. That would actually be a cute piece. I'd wear that one.
Yeah, but it leaves into any kind of interpretation to touch what. So
right. That's why it's open to interpretation, which is great.
You can be. There are.
We can move it to the side of his heart. Just leave it there.
Or I could just wear it or you could just put it on a pair of sweatpants right in the front.
Yeah.
Think about it well, because it can become a performance art, because there are people who do it. There's a woman, I don't remember her name, that she was coming like naked with a box here or down there, and the box just had an opening there, and the whole thing was put your hand there, whatever you find. People were putting the hands in the box, which was
Okay.
Oh, well,
down there.
There was a huge queue of postmen. Is that what you're trying to say, or just trying to post that letter?
No, that's what the whole idea was. What the people will do,
Right.
Yeah.
And Abramovich, Abramovich.
Yeah.
the performance artist. He did also kind of provocative performances, like she was totally naked, and people could touch anything.
Okay.
And to examine what the nature of the humans, maybe, but they will touch
in their own little world.
Yeah.
Humans like to touch.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd get away with that on YouTube though. Well, maybe we should just have a show with a box on it and let people sort of come on and try and guess what's in the box. Guess what's in the box.
Right. That'd be fun.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Yeah.
They asked once Brad Pitt, who played in this movie, what's the thing that they ask you the most? What's in the box? You remember the thriller 7? You don't remember the thriller 7?
I remember 7. I remember 7. I don't remember. I remember with Morgan Freeman.
You don't remember how it ended with the?
Not really. No.
It was a psychological thriller.
It's on HBO or something. I can or a Netflix.
Spoiler. This is a 90s movie, I think.
Yeah, I know, but there's still a lot of people who are working their way backwards through the cinema catalog. A lot of my kids are working their way backwards to like music catalog, going back to the 90s and the 80s, and they're just finding all this stuff going, wow, it's great.
I will tell you that I saw Dune 2.
Yeah, the new one.
Dune 2.
The new Dune. It's 3 hours long. Let's just start with that. And it's much better. So here's the thing. The first Dune that they made in the 80s with Sting and all of them was interesting. Did nothing for me. I saw the Dune when it came out a couple of years ago, and I was like, all right, this is interesting. It was sort of slow, and I no. And then this one was very cinematic, very like boom, 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 boom. So I liked it. It was just 3 hours long. It was a little long. It's like, I didn't need to watch them cook a meal. It's sort of like you could have cut 20 minutes out of this. We would have been okay. But yeah,
I kind of got the idea that I'd already watched it because I saw when last time we went to the cinema they did a trailer for it. That was like 10 minutes, and I looked at each other and said, "We don't need to see the movie because we'll just see 10 minutes."
No, it's actually very good. It's just you have to prepare to I didn't realize it was 3 hours long until halfway through it, my butt started to get sore, and I'm like, "Well, I've been here for 2 hours and 15 minutes." Don't
you have a stop in between for?
No, there's no intermission.
Okay.
In Greece, there is.
They go full bore.
Yeah, there's a debate here because a lot of people say because we went to see Napoleon, also a long movie.
That was a good movie. I like that.
Yeah, I did too. And before then, we went to see Indiana Jones. Real popcorn movies. It was raining.
That sucked.
And we thought we're going. Yeah, well, no, yeah, it was pop. It was a popcorn movie. You got what you paid for, but it was also really, really long. And then people said, "Oh, why didn't it stop halfway?" And so they asked the cinema people, say, guys, why is it not stopping halfway? So, well, because a lot of film producers won't allow us to stop the movie halfway through. So you can get out and have a cup of coffee and go to the John. So, because,
back in the day they did.
Yeah.
Back in the day they did that. Like when I saw Patton as a kid, they did that.
Cinemas really are just a way of selling.
Oh, we still have intermissions. In some, not all of them.
We don't have that. We don't have that here.
But I mean, officially now, certainly in Europe, cinemas are just a place to sell, chocolate,
popcorns,
and everything. And by the way, they show a film at the same time. Because most of the revenue comes out of that, not out of the movie. So that's quite bizarre.
Well, here's the best part. When I go to the movie, the wife brings she sneaks food.
Take your own sandwiches.
She literally, yes. So yesterday we went to the movie. She dropped Cameron and I off, and she said, "I'll be back." And she comes back, and she's wearing it's cold, so she has this big, not jacket, but a shawl on. But all of a sudden, she went from this svelte to looking pregnant. And I was like, why do you
Yeah.
look pregnant all of a sudden? So she sits down and then she
Ta-da!
unveils like a bag of Jimmy John sandwiches. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I understand. So yeah, I noticed how
So
a lot of
you're one
people
of these
bring their own.
irritating people that sit behind me at the cinema, rattling all that papers.
No, actually, I will say this. We're very good about that. We do it while because when you go to the movies, there's a half hour of previews and commercials now here in America. Like
Oh,
there's
you munch out
commercials,
first.
yeah, we do it during the commercials and the preview. Like I sat down and all of a sudden I'm seeing M&M, Coca-Cola, this commercial after commercial after commercial for 15 minutes. And then I had 15 or 20 minutes of previews before the movie started. So literally we just happened to read the time wrong. So we got there too early. But usually what ends up happening is if the movie starts at 6:15, we leave at 6:15 and get there at 6:20. And by, you walk in, it's a few minutes of whatever. But yesterday we got there, it was 6:45. We got there at 6:30 and we realized that was a very big mistake. Sitting there going, so.
Because I remember
then you
when I
were
did.
snoring. You were snoring
Oh,
later.
yeah, I was
Opening
like, guys,
the products and then snoring.
You will not
That's the
snore.
worst customer.
Yep, I know, right? You will not snore during during Dune 2. The music is pounding. The cinematic is gorgeous. And the special effects were very cool. So you
But there
will
are two
literally be like,
mistakes
wow.
from science. I saw it in one of the reels from
Yeah.
deGrasse Tyson, the famous astrophysicist,
Astronomer.
astronomer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The guy who
astrologist
screwed
astronomer.
Pluto. Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
guy who killed Pluto.
one he said that the monster was moving like straight forward.
The worm.
Yeah, the worm. It was
Yeah.
moving like straight forward, and normally it would
Right.
do like something like this to move. Or does the snake go straight line? It moves,
Right.
That was one mistake. I haven't watched it. Just saying what he was saying.
It's a movie. Chill, like Tyson. Chill the
come
frig
on,
out.
that's his work to do, to debunk.
His work is
But
bullshit.
You should watch movies. When I lived in Greece, we loved
He's
going
very-
to movies because they're all outdoors in the evenings. Lovely, nice and warm, and everybody sits outside and watches the movies. Great.
He's full of himself. I like him when he speaks about astrophysics, but when he starts speaking about God and the movies, I'm like, just shut up. Like, I don't give a shit.
I don't listen much about the scientists talking about about God.
Yeah, I just don't find him. I find him when he's on Bill Maher, let's say, and they're talking about astrophysics or whatever, I find it interesting. Then if he branches off into why a movie wasn't right, I don't care. It's a movie.
But this
I don't
is
need
physics.
it to be right.
He's talking about physics because
But that's not true. On this planet, how do you know a worm doesn't move the way this worm does? And when he talks about God, it's like, who cares what you think?
Is there something in the movie that they were calling the worms by knocking on the ground or something?
They knocked on the ground and they go, here, Fred, and Fred comes.
This is the second mistake, that the sand is absorbing sounds.
So sound waves.
So if you want to make a soundproof room or something, you put sand. Right. So he said that the second mistake was the sand.
Well, what I can say is thank you, Adam. I'll try to be going to see the movie now because I should just be thinking about all the mistakes while I'm watching it.
In the movies.
Yeah.
I'm just saying 2 mistakes.
Yeah.
I found it enjoyable.
It's nice when you debunk, the science fiction. Although the science fiction all are wrong, actually, because nothing will be like that. Anyway,
we don't know because first of all, this is in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh,
so for all we know, it could be how it is in the movie. We don't know, but I will say it's very interesting that the in Dune they speak a form of Arabic, and as their language and the religion language. Yeah, so it's interesting.
That's just they want a wider franchise. That's why they're doing that. Just want to sell it all over the world so people can watch it.
I want to speak Chinese next.
People in sandy countries would be happy to sit and watch it. Sitting out in the sand with the moon and the stars above you, nice warm evening temperature, watching an outdoor movie. Happy days.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see.
But it's a good movie.
Yeah, listen, if you've got 3 hours to kill, go see it.
Well, you have, you don't have, they will be killed anyway. That's what they
I'm
are
gonna say,
for.
so go see it. I will say the ending of it is fantastic. The butler does it, kills them all. So
Yeah, in the library.
In the
Or is it-
library with a candlestick with
Yeah.
Colonel Wasworthy. Yes, that's what happened.
Wadsworth, is that what he called? Called Colonel Mustard in English.
Yeah, same thing.
I mean,
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, Colonel Mustard in the
I
library.
watched
with a
the Shogun series. I don't
The
know if you
who?
heard about the Shogun series on
No,
Disney
what's the
Plus.
Shogun series?
It's a very famous series right now at the moment. Series.
In Greece.
No, and everywhere. In
Really?
Disney Plus. It's in Disney Plus. Shogun. It's a
What's it
remake. There
about?
was a Shogun when we were young.
Oh,
Remember
Shogun.
that one?
Shogun. Yeah, Shogun.
Shogun.
Yeah, from James Cavell, wasn't it? When he wrote the books, is that the right guy, James Cavell?
Yeah, I remember Shogun. It started back in the day in the 70s with James Cumberland or Kemp something started in it.
Yeah.
The guy who
80s,
used to be in emergency ward 10 as a doctor.
So there's a new one now in Disney Plus. It's it had very high grade. So I just
How was it?
And it was good. It was very well shot, and the effects are incredible.
Okay.
The 3D and stuff are really incredible. It gives you the feeling of that time, the 7th century, I think.
Right.
17th century. And the feeling is very nice there. And it's good. It's good. I thought it would be better, but it's good.
We just finished watching The Gentleman.
That was good. The Gentleman on Netflix.
Yeah, that was really enjoyable. Guy Ritchie movie because he's a bit of a
it's from the movie The Gentleman, but he did a really good job.
Yeah.
On that one. So apparently today's show is all about movies and television series and whatnot.
We don't know yet.
Well,
started.
It's all about wasting time, isn't it?
Steven, there is no time.
There is no time. That is true. There's no time. Time is a make-believe
There's
thing.
no time
so
to kill. Only there's no time to kill. Time kills us. We don't kill time.
Time kills us. That's true. That is true.
So we'd be better off then discussing the filling of the void, then I suppose, because it's a void that you have in your life, and you put a movie in it.
The void starts from today in Greece because today it's a day we call Clean Monday. It's a day off. It's bank holiday. I think.
Don't you guys have every day off in Greece?
No, just today.
Just today.
Yes, we have 1 day off per day. Not we don't take them all together. Okay. So it's a day that 40-day of fasting, right?
Really?
Fasting?
It's like Ramadan then.
Yes,
it's like Ramadan. You fast from sunrise to sunset.
That means no, we don't eat meat and products of meat. Like
that's not fasting. That's just
like
diet.
Like kebabs today.
Yeah, the gyros or all this stuff. So today they start and they eat. The sheep are safe, but exactly in 40 days there's the Greek Pascha, which is actually the biggest
sheep killing festival. Yeah.
The most important day of Christianity here in the Eastern Orthodox. It's the Pascha. It's the day that the resurrection of Jesus.
Yeah.
And on that day, of Jesus.
Who is this guy?
He was one of your lot, mate. He was one of your lot, remember?
He's a Jewish guy.
He's a Jewish guy.
Yeah.
Listen, if he's not a doctor or an attorney or something.
He's not a doctor. Well, he's a doctor of the soul.
No, he was a craftsman. He was a craftsman.
Yeah, he was a carpenter, sure.
Yeah, sure. He was a carpenter.
Can I ask you a question? How Jewish was he? Most Jews, they call a carpenter. They're not going to do the work themselves. Yeah. Let's just think through it.
Well, he was, according to your lot, he was a carpenter. So, and then, you didn't want him. You didn't want him, and so the Church of England decided, well, we'll have him.
Yeah.
He was going free profits. We'll have that. We'll have him. Put him in. Bag him.
Yeah, good riddance. Good riddance. He
yeah.
wasn't a Jewish.
Well,
He wasn't a
well,
doctor or an accountant or a lawyer or in entertainment. Good
No,
riddance.
Pontius Pilate didn't like him
He's
very
a
much.
savior. He
just
took all
washed-
our crimes.
He washed
What
his
did he
hands
say?
of him.
He washed his hands.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
What did he say?
Well, he saved a lot of nails.
Oh, he saved on nails. Good to know.
Yeah.
So in 40 days, it's a very significant day because it's the day that some Jewish guy apparently rises up.
He was definitely
and
Jewish.
does something. He does. Okay. So.
Well, he changed the history of humanity.
Yeah.
Right. So his name was Jesus Bloomberg.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Then he got so famous.
But you know the Christ where it comes from.
Where?
Christ in Greek is Christos. It's from there. Christos, which means the chosen one.
Okay.
Jesus chosen.
Yeah.
Jesus chosen.
Which was a fulfillment of a Jewish prophecy, of course. That's why he had to be chosen. Because if not, we couldn't steal him from you. You know, if you didn't, I mean,
no, they gave him away.
No, well, I mean, that's also difficult, isn't it? I mean, like the nation of Israel giving stuff away, debatable. Mm-hmm. So he was kind of like, he was just like there for the taking. So we had him, Church of England. We didn't like that Christos bit because that sounded all a bit foreign. So we just called him, Jesus Christ, and we'll have him. And
I think the Byzantines took him first.
There was a song. There was a Broadway play, a movie called Jesus Christ Superstar. Jesus Christ Superstar. No, that's from the 70s. That's too hip.
Yeah, and the most famous book is associated with him.
The book about Elvis Presley?
The Bible.
The fables. Yeah.
The Bible. Hey, that the Bible's been outprinted by Bram Stoker's Dracula.
That is true. Bram Stoker's Dracula is the #1 book ever printed, and the fables come in #2.
Yeah.
So basically what that's telling me is that Dracula is real and the fables are not. And there you go. So
there you go.
Nothing is real, Stephen.
Here we go. Nothing is real. That's the construct of time. Here we go. So this is very interesting. So in the 40 days, because apparently this Jesus guy's coming back, and good for him.
Hey, look, well, you guys said he had to be away for 40 days. The timeline is Jewish.
It's fine. Listen, we do a lot of crazy stuff. I know. So my thing is, Jesus comes back in 40 days, and then what happens? You guys just eat food?
He rolls away the stone.
No, he sends the message that nothing is lost during the day of death.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he said he sort of rose up and said to all his mates, all the crew that he had with him, and he went, "Hey, I'm here, mate. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about all that cross. Don't worry about the cross business. I've sorted all of that out." And,
so there was a book that was written about 15 years ago, which I read. I can't remember the name, but I will find it. And some archaeologists did some digging. No pun intended, on this Jesus story. And what they said is they found out that Jesus did actually rise, but he was never dead when they put him in the tomb. And his followers took him in a boat from wherever he was crucified to India, where he died at the age of 62. And there's historical records, they say, that prove it. And the book shows the historical records. I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah. And the Madonna was black, and she went to through North Africa.
Madonna's been with a lot of black guys. So yes, I see that. Yeah.
So it's I didn't want to go down that road because that's full of litigation. But there you go.
Madonna being black, I think it's pretty much. I think people know that. I think we're good.
Well, it's like.
But you're talking about the Madonna from.
It's like saying Churchill wasn't black either. But there you go. Had a bit of a West Indian name, Winston. There you go.
But it's interesting, though, that people, when they think of, this guy Jesus, that he's a white guy, but theoretically he's Middle Eastern, so he would be dark. He would not be white.
Oh, yeah.
He would not be like David's
not
color.
necessarily totally dark.
No, but I mean, not like a ghost.
Things are darker, but they are not totally black.
Right, I agree.
Yeah. Well, Lebanese people are very, very light-colored. From a lot of Middle Eastern people are light-colored. Iranians as well.
On the other hand, there were those guys. They were all day long
in the sun.
Almost outside, in the sun.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, Jesus was there for quite a while because they banged him up on a
it's
cross.
hard.
So.
It's hard not to get tanked here on Crete, because wherever, even if you're not directly on the sun, if you're in the shadow, you get the light anyway. It's the position of the sun is higher. There's more sun.
Gotcha.
So he was dark anyway.
Yeah, but
I don't think
the
he had
problem was
blue eyes or something like Jeffrey Relly movies.
I think it's a paint problem. I think Renaissance painters only had certain colours in their paint selection, so they thought, well, we better give him blue eyes and blonde hair because that's
Like in the British Museum, we have a problem with the British Museum because it's got some
the
stuff that are Greek. Yeah.
Right.
And there was a moment, the museum has accused Greece for many things, that you don't have a museum. So Greeks built a new museum of Acropolis there, standing. And at the moment, what they did? They scratched the surface of the marbles because they think they were dirty, but it was paint. It was the Greek marbles, the Greek sculptures. They were all painted. At the moment, they are not. We like the effect that they are white and the marble, but the truth is that they were painted. It was a little more kitsch than we think, but it's.
Well,
I like the Greek artwork.
So. Yeah, of course, it's a base for many.
One of the real wow moments I have. I went to a church, I think in Reims, in France.
Wow.
And it still had the colorations on the wall, and it must have been absolutely mind-blowingly beautiful, because in the Reformation, one of the things that one shouldn't have done, I think, during the Reformation, the Church of England boys, they shouldn't have got the old whitewash out and whitewashed everything. So they whitewashed all the churches to take any reference to Catholicism away. So if you go to any church in the UK, it will be 99.9% of the church will be white, because they've covered everything up. And I thought that was quite normal. And I go to this church in France, 10 years ago, and walk in and think, wow, it must have been really beautiful. And again, like you said, Adam, all these statues are all painted as well.
Yeah,
it must have been like a Christmas market. Full of
color. Full of colors, and I'll tell you something else. At least that's my feeling here. Sometimes we have in our heads, like from childhood, a kind of a kingdom when there are colors and the people are happy. Something like this existed here in the Minoan times. The Knossos Palace was something like that. It was a civilization that lasted for about 2,000 years, and in general they live in peace, because it's an island. They didn't have too many. There were not too many pirates at the time. It wasn't easy to cross the sea with the technology of that time. I mean, the ships, and they were pretty strong at the sea because they were merchants. The Minoans, they were having trades with Egypt. And the Egyptians also they were waiting for them, for their goods, because they were at that time, the Minoans, they were like the Italy right now. It's like the design place, They were having very nice designs of jewelries, of ceramics designs. They also invented the red color, because it's from animal in the sea, like a shell. Kind of a shell, and from this one they created the red color. And imagine that it was very, very expensive at the time, because it was a rare color. It wasn't easy to create. That's why the kings were red, because it was the rarest color.
Oh wow.
Also in Byzantium, which at the time, Byzantium, the Byzantine, how you call it in England?
The Byzantine.
Byzantine?
Yeah, Byzantine. Well, actually, at the time, it wasn't called Byzantine. It was called the Eastern Roman Empire. All their time, they were calling themselves Roman Empire, actually.
Right.
They also had the kings that were also wearing, the red colors,
Right.
because it was
Very
always harder to create the red color.
Isn't it also that they were using a certain beetle for it as well? That they would cross each beetles and it would give this color, which is and it was the preserve of priests, of bishops and kings. Or was it purple? I think it might be purple.
Purple, yeah, purple is kind of red actually. That's why it's really hard to create. Also,
Yeah,
you need red to create purple. And that was the. And this is the connection that the last time we spoke, that the kings, they were the dictators, but
Right.
they were for life. They had all the
That's what
money,
Trump's
the
going to be
power.
in November when he wins the election. He's going to be a dictator for life in America.
Oh, there'll be big problems if he comes finally. I was thinking this week about that.
Really? We think about it all the time because
Elon Musk is openly with
itself.
him. I saw some of his. It's not that he wasn't, but he's openly with him.
Well, Musk is
now
an idiot.
posting his.
Not allegedly, just an idiot. He's just the dumbest guy on the planet.
He's not an idiot. He's
an idiot.
What he is.
He didn't do anything.
An idiot would not have created that kind of magnitude.
Yes, an
companies.
idiot. Listen, if you're a lucky idiot, he didn't create shit. Let's be honest. PayPal, he was one of 4 people part of it. What he did there, I don't know. Nor do I care. Tesla, he didn't start it. He bought it from somebody. Tesla, in my opinion, and allegedly, Ponzi scheme. The cars aren't that great. Do people think Musk is the greatest thing on the planet? The guys, we keep inviting him on the show. He doesn't come. You got no balls. I get it. But Tesla, he didn't do shit with. He didn't invent it. He hasn't done anything. His boring company out of Los Angeles that he has, it's supposed to bore a hole, is patents from 1860 that he's just using for boring. The space thing he's got is cute, but those are patents from the 60s and 70s. So all he's done is taken money and say, do this, do that. And he makes unrealistic demands and unrealistic, from books that I've read and people that I've talked to that have worked with him and for him, unrealistic demands and put unrealistic pressure on the people because he's like, look how wonderful and great I am. He should just shut the fuck up and sit in a corner and play with his money or himself. Like his Starlink, when he said we have to turn it off because of the Ukraine, we can't give it to the Ukrainians. Who are you to decide who uses your Starlink? No, the guy's a moron.
It's
Full
his
stop.
company.
Don't really care. Then you don't control the satellites. You know who controls satellites? Nobody. You put them up there, you let them go. But if you're going to control satellites, then they're used for everybody. And if there's a war going on, too bad. That country still gets to use your satellites. They paid for it.
He's just cut a deal, didn't he, with the US government to put up lots of spy satellites.
Yeah, I'm just saying, he's dangerous. That's why Trump likes him, because he's an idiot like Trump.
He's dangerous because he's supporting openly Trump, and he's got
Hitler, I got it.
He's got a whole platform, social media platform. It's his platform, and through this platform, in the name of free speech, he will let any kind of lie, and he is saying lies also.
Yeah,
because
he's an idiot.
He's been posting lies.
Yeah, he's an idiot. It's full stop.
It's not an idiot. It's not actually an idiot. He's using others.
He's Joseph Goebbels. Yeah. He's Joseph Goebbels. That's all he is. He's just Joseph Goebbels for this group of, if you will, this Hitler. He's his Goebbels. He's his propaganda minister. So if you want to look at it in that respect, that's what this guy is. He's Trump's Goebbels. That's all there is.
Didn't know he was a chicken farmer as well. But there you go. You learn something new every day.
But my point is, it gets scary. I mean, like, nobody seems to care that, this guy is like telling you he's coming in to be a dictator. People are going to go to jail for free speech. People are going to go to prison for this. And it's like, okay.
Well, it's going to bring some chaos, I guess.
Civil war, I would think.
So, and especially also we will see what will happen with NATO in general, because
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, because NATO in general was created after the Second War, right?
Yeah.
And of course there was Soviet Union at the moment and the other, but it was mainly about Europe.
Right.
And if this disintegrates, if it breaks up, what happens to Europe actually? Because it's about Europe.
I think Russia will
always
just roll
about
its
Europe.
tanks. It'll roll its tanks through the Ukraine and hit Poland. And like I said, it's 1930s
No,
all over again.
it's not that easy. They cannot
Yes, it
open so
is.
many. What?
I don't think
What?
Putin cares. Putin doesn't care. Putin wants
He
to bring
cares.
things
He
back to the way
cares.
it
Of course, he
He does not
cares.
care.
He-
He would have
No,
never attacked the
he-
Ukraine then if he cared.
well,
Well,
look, in
he said-
Ukraine, although the costs, he is
Mhm.
kind of not losing, at least, right?
Well, he's not
Well,
winning.
he's a happy bunny, isn't he? Because he just won the election, and that gives him
He
another
won the election.
another 10
Oh, you're killing me.
What
another
he
10
won
years
them?
or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we-
running
we-
against
7 years.
yourself.
7 years
Yeah, we were
He's-
until
we were-
2030.
we were
Yeah.
we were absolutely
6
shocked.
years.
We were shocked this morning when we woke up.
That he
and found
won?
Yeah.
Really, it was in the Financial Times that he's going to do a 5th term. I'm very excited for him. He got hit. This
well,
is the
he's-
best part. He had no opposition, but he got 86% of the vote. So
Oh,
there
he
was
did have opposition.
there was
He did-
14% that did not vote.
that didn't
Wow.
vote apparently.
He did
Yes,
have
apparently
opposition.
they'll be shot. They're going to be shot.
He did have opposition. He had
No,
they're
three
dead.
members of the Communist Party were on.
They're already dead. Those are the
They're
dead.
No,
dead. They're already dead, Dave. It doesn't matter.
But they didn't take them from the
but-
catalogs.
No, they're still alive and kicking. And one of them was interviewed or tried to be interviewed by some reporter. And he
Yeah.
said, "What do you think of Mr. Putin?" And he said, "I'm not going to comment on that." And or do you think you got a chance to get into the, is he doing a good thing from Russia? Well, I'm not going to make a comment on that either. So the fact that he was standing against him in an election, but didn't want to make any bad comments about his opposition. But
Right.
they're from the Communist Party. They always have to be on every election ballot in the Soviet Union. Been there since he went communist. So it was a democratic process.
Right. It's going to be just how once Trump wins this election, if Biden or the Democrats don't get their head out of their asses, that's how it's going to be in 2028. We'll be re-electing our dictator.
But
Yeah.
Stephen, this is, I think, the first time that we have the same two persons that are competing for the presidency, right?
I think so. Yes. I think
It's the first time, I
in our
think. I don't
history.
remember other time that we have same people, except
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah.
And those
And,
people were over 70. Yeah.
They're
it's the
both. They're
first
almost
time.
8. They're in their 80s. That's what we're
Yeah,
talking about. There should be
Biden
age
is
limits for people.
How old is Biden?
Biden. let me look.
81.
81? How
Biden.
old is Joe Biden?
Yeah, he's 81.
And
Oh.
Trump
In
is 79.
November 82, and
Trump is 79.
my God,
Trump is 77. Trump
Oh,
is 77.
77,
Oh,
yes.
well, it's
But
just a
I
child.
think, and I've said this before, I think just like the Supreme Court, the president, since the retirement age in America is 70 years old, then you cannot run for president after you're 70 years old. I think it's just that simple. You hit 70, thank you very much. We pin your mittens to you, smack you on your ass, and let you go play golf all day. But I don't think you should be
Yeah,
president
you know
when
something,
you're 80 years old.
logically, if you take it
Yeah.
logically, we're talking about
Sure.
the most rich country in the world, the most powerful, etc. That means also that the president is more
Right.
busy than any other president in the world. I mean, isn't it right? That means
I
a
don't know
lot
what
of
Trump
work, a
does.
lot of
When he
hours
was
of
president,
work,
what did he
right?
do? Yeah.
Trump
All
gets
did
up
was
in the
play
morning.
golf.
Trump gets up in the morning. I watched him this week, and he
Okay.
gets up on early in the morning
Yeah,
just for you, Steve.
I know.
That's what he said. He said, "I get up in the morning just for America."
Oh, I thought you
That's-
meant just for me personally, because I was going to say
Well,
Donnie doesn't
I've-
call and say, "Hey, Steve,
Yeah.
I'm getting up just for you."
Well,
If he did that, I would like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call Donnie all the time. I go, Donnie, why don't you come on the show? I'm waiting. He used to be on Fox all the time. I was going to come on our show all the time. We'll let him
Ooh,
Well,
talk.
he's busy.
Trump?
Tell
He's
us how
still,
wonderful it is.
he's too busy all having his hair
Getting up.
dyed and all, getting out of bed in the morning. It's like
And
he's
getting
doing
up
it
in
for
the
you.
morning.
He's doing
He's
it
doing
for
it for me.
America.
Wow.
Doing it
There's
for
300 million
America.
of us. Really?
Yeah.
He's waking up
All right.
300 million. How many people are there?
We have 300 million,
What is it now?
323 million
300
in
million
America?
times for each American.
Well,
Wow.
it's
That is
really
awesome.
it's
Thanks,
really
Donnie.
important. It's even
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
important, of course, when you're 77 to make sure that you do wake up. You know,
Yeah.
because it's there'll be a morning when it's not going to happen. So it's
Where he
best to
doesn't wake
sort
up.
of So it's he has to keep practicing. Get out.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
Well,
but yeah,
listen.
it's one of those ironies, isn't it? Because these are the most powerful people, and then you're asking powerful
Exactly.
people.
It's a must.
You're asking them to give up their power.
I'm okay with that.
Well,
Yeah, they are not okay.
You are, but they're not.
Yeah.
When I had power and it was time for me to leave where I was more than happy to let somebody else do it. I'm okay
No,
with
I
that.
think
I don't.
have to accept that
I think the
fate.
restraining order did help, Stephen. Let's be
Well, the
honest.
court case, the restraining order, lawsuits, things
Yeah.
like that, maybe. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying it. I don't like if I'm the president of the United States after my 2 terms or my 1 term, I'm good. Like I'll go play golf, I'll travel, I'll do whatever. I'll do a Bill Clinton, I'll go do speaking tours and group 20-year-old girls allegedly, and I'm good with all that. I don't understand these guys that they're like it's be done. Like
It's
you
power.
did your thing,
They're
done
addicted to power. He's addicted to power.
apparently. But the problem with Trump is though he wants to be El Presidente for life. And that's not how we work. And that's what I'm worried about is because if he does come to power, he's not leaving. And the Republicans are going to be basically 1930 Nazi party until something happens where they get overrun or overthrown and we go back to a democracy. And I really don't want to live through a civil war. I don't really want to live through a World War III. You know what I mean? I think it's not going to be good. The fact that we can't even get this guy to a trial and we can't get people to admit that Joe Biden won an election, all that's bad. There's no positives coming down for November.
Yeah, but did he win an election? So because there's a whole group of Americans who don't consider that to be a fact that he didn't
Well, then
win.
that's good. Then that means Donald Trump is technically president and he's done his 2 terms and now he can't run. And then Biden will have to run again because Biden hasn't had a term. I like it. We're good.
No.
We've solved the problem for America.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome, America.
Yeah, but
well, it's make Donald's great again, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
Basically, I wonder what his wife thinks, Melinda.
Well, I think she just thinks I'll keep my legs my mouth shut, and that was a Freudian slip, and wait for the check.
I guess.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
although you think
listen.
You think they miss the money? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they said there was a book that came out and there was an article in the Financial Times and the Economist that said when he first became president, she did not move to Washington, D.C. because she was renegotiating her prenup. Like she was getting more money, like she was like stacking it up. And I'm assuming if he becomes president again, she's going to renegotiate again.
Well, I maintain that there wasn't anybody more surprised on the planet that Donald Trump became president than Donald himself. Because I think he just did it because he thought, well, he's just media horny and he just wanted his face everywhere. And then all of a sudden you think, oh, wait, I've got to do it now.
Narcissism.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And then you hear all these people, anybody that ever worked for him, all the White House people say, well, we don't want to go through that again.
But the American public apparently does. The American public wants a dictator. And you know what? Be careful for what you wish for, people, because you're going to get one.
They want clarity.
No, they don't want clarity. They want a dictator. They want to be told what to do, how to do it, when to do it, because they're ostriches and they stick their head in the sand. And that's it.
That's a very damning point.
That's that's an honest statement. And the billionaires that are backing him just want to make sure, like the billionaire or the millionaires that backed Hitler want to make sure they don't lose their power, their wealth, and their assets. So what do? You write the dictator a check and you go, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And at some point when a dictator falls, people remember everybody went, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, and yes, sir. So It's like I said,
Well,
it's
on
going to
the
be an
other hand, from the
interesting
point of
decade.
view of the Trump supporters, they believing that it's dictatorship already with Biden.
Apparently,
Yeah.
He's not a
So-
dictator. He's like your grandfather. He's clueless. He's got a vice president that's just as clueless. The Democrats, I'm telling you, the Democrats
No,
should have
it's
Michelle
you know
Obama
something.
run for president.
We're the politics right now,
Clickbait,
especially
clickbait.
yeah,
Yeah.
the world politics right now, it's so complicated, and those people are pretty simple, and they like to hear simple things, and here's a simple guy.
Hey, it's
you
called
know.
a book. Read it. Like read a history book. Use your
but
brain.
Well, you
what
have to
it is,
understand the book also. It doesn't.
yeah,
It's not
what it
only
is
to
they
read
have
it.
circumstances in their life where they feel they're losing control. They're feeling that nobody understands how they feel, and then somebody
agree.
comes along with a Jack and Jill message, with Jack and Jill propaganda, and they go, "Oh, and now I get it. Oh, so that must be right."
Yeah, because
Maybe.
all your problems, it's their fault.
Yeah,
Their fault all the
Right.
time. All your problems, it's their fault.
Yeah.
They are doing this. They are bringing immigrants. Like when there was Trump, there were no immigrants in the U.S. Like he
Yes,
was
there were tons
stopping
of
everybody.
immigrants crossing the border.
yeah.
Exactly.
He didn't
Yeah,
stop
hey,
anybody. And Mexico.
You can't just stop. Immigration is a world problem. It's not just one country problem. You can't stop
Yeah.
them. We can't stop them here in Greece. It's we have sea. They are coming with boats. What are we going to shoot at the boats?
Yeah, but
Can
that's
we? Oh, that would be cool. Can we? Oh, I'll go do that. Can we do that? We can't. You were just
We cannot
suggesting
do
it. Oh, you
that.
can't do that. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I got excited.
But that's the mantra. I mean, like in the US, the mantra is build that wall, and the mantra
can't,
in Europe,
because Mexico's not paying for it.
mantra in Europe is stop the boats, stop the
Right.
boats. So everybody you hear, when they can't think of anything else to say about why they're up shit creek without a paddle, they just say, "Oh well,
Look,
stop the
David.
boats."
Look, if there are bigger problems in Africa, like in Nigeria, so there are millions. You know how many millions of poor people are there?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You cannot stop them. Even a bombing of the if they want to come,
Right.
if
They'll
they
come.
decide
They're
to
gonna
come,
come.
They'll walk
they will
over each
come.
other. They will walk over
Exactly.
each other.
If suddenly the borders in Mexico, if Mexico has a big problem, or all the southern countries which are poor, and suddenly
Right.
millions will be at the borders, they will come. You cannot stop them. So it's we're living the planet has become a village.
Yeah.
But
It's no matter what kind of system you have. If you are a communist or a dictatorship, if you are Democrats or whatever, if there's a
Right.
problem in one place of the world and it's a big problem, they're gonna come.
Yeah.
They will leave their houses because they need to survive.
What they're up against is I'm all right, Jack. You see, that's what they're
Right.
up against. So I'm all right. I'm all right. I've got a good life. And if they come on their boats or they're going to climb over that wall, then that means that whatever I've got, I'm going to have to share with people that I don't understand because they talk this funny foreign language, or they're going to come and steal my job, or what are they? Or mentally disranged, pedophilic, homicidal maniacs. Whatever.
Many things of that can happen. There'll
But
be
that-
criminals, but there'll be criminals there. People who don't understand the culture, they will come. They will never adjust.
Yeah.
And
It's a scary world. At some point, I'm hoping in the near future, when the Illuminati and the lizard people take over, we all just get along.
Again.
Haven't they yet?
We're
Take
getting
over
there.
again.
Take over again and over and over. But at some point, we should just, if we don't all get along, we're just all going to implode. Maybe that's it. Maybe we need to implode as a planet. Maybe we need a nuclear war. Maybe we need all that, and we start over from scratch like they probably did 10 million years ago.
As long as
everybody
Amazon
gets too stupid.
As long as Amazon can still keep delivering those brown shirts, we'll be all right. It's the only thing you got to worry about.
Yes, as long as they can keep doing that. Well, gentlemen, this has been a fascinating show. I'm sure for the listeners and for the viewers. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can listen to us on podcast, and you can see us on YouTube. We rebroadcast this show every Tuesday morning for both. And next Monday, we will be back with Mr. Adam on the Eve. And who knows what topics we'll talk about. I'm sure it'll be interesting. So
yeah. Maybe even talk about art. Who knows? Who knows?
Art, that's true. We could try that next week.
Let's open this chapter also one day.
Yeah, we'll do next week. We'll talk about art. Well, we did kind of talk about art in the beginning because we talked about movies, and that is a form of art.
We always talk about art. Even when we talk about politics, we're talking about the art of politics.
There you go. The art of politics. I like that. That's going to be the title of the show today.
We talk only about art and aesthetics.
The art of politics.
The art of politics. I like it. That's a beauty.
Guys, it's been fun. The fart of politics. Could be a title.
Why? I have to put this up daily. This is what I deal with daily, just so you know. Anyway, we will see everybody next Monday morning or wherever you are in the world, Monday afternoon, Monday evening. Thank you for listening or watching. Rebroadcast is every Tuesday, comes out at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. New York City time, if you will. So you can catch us wherever you get your podcasts, and Spotify, Google, Amazon, Apple, the list goes on. And you can see us here on YouTube. And you can check out all other shows on our playlist. Adam, it's always a pleasure to see you, my friend. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
Bye, everyone.
David,
bye-bye.
Take us home.